Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Chris Bosch Props. I am making some headway on the suit. As you guys have seen in my last couple videos, we're getting into that nasty, ugly part of sanding and detailing. And while we're at it doing the detailing, I wanted to show you guys this little technique that I do for sharpening up those fine details. And what I mean by fine details is this engraved or this embossed logo here, such as the OCP Police, or these fine engraved lines like here, this little circle here. And as you can see, what starts to happen if you're not familiar with 3D printing is you got to get rid of those print lines. So you're using a lot of filler primer, you're using a lot of spot putty and various other materials. And what happens is you start to lose some of that detail. I don't know if you can see it there, but it starts getting kind of dulled up, not as sharp and filled in. And as you can see there. So what I do to start cleaning these up, what I used to use is these microfiles, and I still use these. I kind of interswitch between this technique and this new technique that I've discovered that's super simple, by the way, and that is by using these cheap picks. Now, these picks you can get at Harbor Freight. I think Walmart might even sell some, but they come in a set of 4 and they have different tips. Never mind these other 3, I don't use them. You can use them if you feel like it's necessary, but what I use is this one sharp tip pick here. It's a fine point pick, and I just go in there with that fine tip and I just start to kind of working around the logo. And the metal is much stronger than the plastic or spot putty or primer, so it starts to kind of dig that out. Now this isn't a file, but it almost acts like a file. It's kind of weird. Now you saw the before and there's the after. I mean, look how cleaned up that starts to look by just using this simple dumb little pick here. Now let's go to the C. Doesn't take much. But look at that. That's pretty good, guys. Let's clean this P up here. Look at that. That works pretty good. And it's quick too. I mean, you got to work it a little bit. You do. It takes a little bit of elbow grease, but not much. Now look at that. Look how sharp that looks just with a little bit of work. Let's move on to the police here. I mean, that's really ugly. Look at that. Now you can see a lot of the spot putty coming out. I was kind of careless on my brushing, so look at that. Very nice. Clean this O up. Sorry, that was my compressor. I got a little leak on my hose, so every now and then it'll want to refill itself. I just wanted to show you guys this little technique. I mean, this is really helpful for getting into those fine little crevices with a super cheap tool to get. You know, I think this set's only like $3 or something at Harbor Freight. I'll link it down below. Don't quote me on the price. I just remember I didn't pay much for it. I use these on my cars when I work on my cars, and I saw it laying in my toolbox, and I'm like, I wonder if that would work for detailing. So I gave it a shot, and I was pleasantly surprised because this tip here is just, it's so fine point that it can get into those spots a lot better than, say, this file, this micro file here that has not as sharp of a tip, and it just can't get into those spots as good. But what you could do is you could intertwine it. So you can kind of open it up with this little pick here, and then come in with your fine point microfile, and then kind of get in there a little bit. But even then it doesn't fit as good. Now these work amazing in other areas, but these really fine details like that little that pick works fantastic. But yeah, then you can kind of switch off and rotate like that. That's kind of what I've been doing on some pieces. But initially, I've been love using this so far on a lot of the stuff. So this E looks really ugly there. Actually, let me get that off with my finger. So look at the difference there, guys. Huge difference. And you're gonna slip every now and then, that's okay. It doesn't really hurt nothing. We still got lots of sanding to do anyway. So there you go, guys. It starts to look really good. Let's do one more. Let's do this ugly little circle there. It looks like it got filled up with a bunch of filler primer and spot putty. Look at that there. See, it starts to look really sharp when you use this thing, guys. And then, like I said, if you're not happy with it, you can intertwine it, get your round fine tip microfile, and then you can go in there and finish it up a little bit. But even that doesn't go in as smooth. It takes a little bit more working. I kind of just liked it as is, to be honest with you. So yeah, guys, I hope this helps. I'll link these little picks here down below, but that's what I've been using. I already did this side as well, and it brings out that engraving really nicely, and it looks super sharp now. But yeah, I'm gonna start digging into the sanding and the detailing like this all across the suit, guys. I just wanted to show you this as the foundation. For these areas, you can use a pick as well and clean it up. I like to use my microfiles a little better, but sometimes you'll just get little debris from your spot putty or whatnot in there, and you can clean it out But then you can use your square microfile and just kind of go in there and work it. This was already pretty cleaned up. It didn't need much, but that's what I do on the more finer lines like that, the thicker lines. And there you go. We're starting to look really sharp. So I'm going to move on to the other stuff, guys. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching.